College baseball on a Friday night, and they are going to pack it in here this weekend for super regional action between two proud programs, the number 12 national seed Louisville and the 5 national seed Texas A&M. We welcome you to NCAA Baseball Super Regionals presented by Capital One. Olson Field at Bluebell Park ready to rock. Temps hovering right around 100. Best of 3 in the Supers, and 1 week from today, we will have 8 teams ready to go in Omaha at the Men's College World Series. With that, we say hello and thanks for joining us. Chris Burke, Mike Monaco with you, and Berkey, this is going to be fun. We have 2 premier head coaches who have led their teams here. We're going to have some offense.
Yeah, both head coaches have been to 5 College World Series. Jim Schlossnagle, none with Texas A&M, right? 5 with TCU. Dan McDonald looking to take Louisville to his 6th College World Series. 2 great offenses. 2 teams that are old and physical. I expect a bunch of fireworks and a whole bunch of runs.
It was atypical for this Louisville program to miss out last year. A couple weeks later, the players for this year's team created a group text. They called it Revenge Tour.
Yeah, and they've been on that revenge tour. Maybe Coach McDonald doesn't love that term, but the reality is it's a proud program that was looking to make their mark again, and boy, have they done that.
Other side, Texas A&M, they missed out on regionals last year as well, and as you said, a coaching change here in College Station.
Yeah, they were hoping Jim Schlossnagle would get them to this point. Who knew he would do it in year 1? But what a first year has been. All-star coaching staff. They crushed the transfer portal, and the Aggies blew up in the SEC, winning the West. And now here they are hosting a super regional. Quite a story in year 1 for Jim Schlossnagle.
And he told us on the field during batting practice, maybe 7,000, however many they will have, will be here for this one tonight. 2 clubs similar in a lot of ways, especially with top shelf offenses. Ball could be flying tonight in game 1 of the College Station Super Regional. First pitch coming up next on the other side. Ready to go with college baseball on a Friday night. Louisville on the road coming up here in the first. We teased that they have great offense just like A&M. And in the 3-hole for the Cards, the junior catcher Dalton Rushing, 22 home runs this season.
Yeah, Dalton Rushing has become a star. The power was always known, but he needed to put a full season together. And this year he has really impressed with his pitch selection and his ability to work counts. But not just that, Mike, he has been a real dude behind the plate. Some people talking about him maybe jumping up into the first round. Christian Knapchick's a guy to circle there in that leadoff spot. They average some 3 runs a game more when he's in the lineup. Missed a couple weeks with a sprained ankle. He is now back, but is a lineup top to bottom that can hurt you. How about 52 and 51 RBIs in the 8 and 9 hold from Beard and Bianco? So really you cannot sleep on any part of this Cardinal batting order.
10th best in the country at just a tick below 9 runs per game, and they go up against the sophomore righty from San Antonio, Nathan Detmer.
Yeah, Nathan Detmer, man, he looks the part. 6'4", 215 pounds. And you are going to see power stuff. The fastball get up into the mid-90s. It's a sinker-slider combo, so he needs to pitch at the bottom of the zone. And he's got to reverse the trend. Has not been great over the last month and a half. And he's going to need to pitch at the bottom of the zone, change speeds. But on top of that, Mike, he's going to need a defense, an Aggie defense that has not played well recently. Fielded just 930 last weekend. He's going to need that defense to play well behind him.
On a big stage at home, he gets the ball in game 1 here at Bluebell Park.
Soak it in, man. Pretty special atmosphere here, isn't it?
Dan McDonald said to us this week, he thinks it's the most exciting weekend in all of baseball, the most intense, the most exciting brand of baseball you'll get to experience.
Yeah, Super Regionals for me are the best, right? It's the greatest showcase of our sport because you get these great home venues, you get the electric fan bases that are ready to send their teams off to Omaha. And for these players, this is the culmination of a year's worth of work to get to right here in this weekend, and you're 2 games away from Omaha. But man, it's 2 meat grinders.
Temperature reads 98 on the scoreboard in left center. And Louisville wearing the blacks on the road. Well, here is the sophomore shortstop you mentioned, Christian Knapchick, now healthy, and he was productive last weekend. Detmer deals, and away we go. I mean, to repeat the number you said, Berkey, it's 3 runs a game more when he's in the lineup.
Yeah, and leads their team in runs, even though he did miss a couple weeks. As Detmer pours in a couple strikes to start the party. Just something about him, just kind of that classic leadoff hitter, moves the baseball, can beat you with the short game, can hit a ball in a gap, does everything that you would want from a #1 spot in the batting order.
Fouls off the 0-2 from Detmer. Well, Louisville here as the #12 national seed, and they had to win 3 straight games in the losers bracket. They did that with Knapczyk back atop the lineup. 0-2 again. Fades outside. Meanwhile, for A&M, they swept here at home last weekend, but Detmer struggled. He pitched Saturday night against Louisiana, 4 1/3, gave up 6 runs on 9 hits, but when he's been at his best, to your point, he's been lights out in the SEC. 1-2 on the way. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, it's almost been a tale of 2 seasons for Detmer. You go back to the end of March, and he was rolling. I mean, he looked like a future first-round pick, but since, you know, he has yet to have what you would call a great start in the last 2 months.
Knapczyk in the air to left. It sends Dylan Rockback to make the catch for the first out. I mean, last 5 versus the prior 5, and now he has been dealing at times with a blister on his foot, and his head coach Jim Schlossnagle said to us that part of that is why he hasn't been the same guy since.
Yeah, how about just 13 punch-outs in his last 5 starts? I mean, so you're talking about a guy that was dealing at a sub-1.5 ERA, and since almost operating at a 10. Again, he'll still flash you the same stuff. It just has not been nearly as consistent.
Oh, he starts with a slider for strike 1 to Ben Metzinger. Veteran third baseman who is from Louisville and part of a Cards team that in the lineup does have a handful of guys who had to wait their turn, and they've put together big seasons for Louisville.
Yeah, Metzinger has been one of the stars in this lineup. How about 2 walk-off home runs? They hadn't had a walk-off homer since 2018, and Metzinger has 2 of them. And he's really been kind of in the mix of what Coach McDonald wanted this team to flip the script on from last year, which is not winning games in the last 3 innings. And a big part of the reason that Louisville's here is because they've been able to flip that script and tell a different story this year.
He lofts the 1-2 foul.
And Metzinger with the 2 walk-off homers has been a big part of that. I mean, you think about the fact that they were able to win their regional final after trailing going to the 8th inning, and that being a point of emphasis all offseason for them. It's a pretty cool story.
1-2. Cut on and miss. Good breaking ball again from Nathan Detmer.
All breaking balls that AB against Metzinger, and really the breaking ball right now, you'll see the shadows, folks. It's a tough time to see the spin, but a real tight dot on that one. Metzinger does a nice job of staying over it. Just comes up empty there on a good power breaking ball to the outside edge. Detmer off to a nice start.
He got taken out in part in the SEC tournament in Hoover, Alabama, because he didn't have the breaking ball, and his head coach said over the weekend at regionals, the breaking ball comes and goes. So that's a great sign early on for Detmer.
Last year he was almost all sinker changeup, and Nate Yatsky, the first year pitching coach, who's renowned to be able to work with guys and get them to reach their potential, has really tightened that breaking ball up. But it has come and gone a little bit this season on him. But you can expect to see a lot of changeups to the lefties and the breaking ball to the right-handers. There's a good changeup there to rush you.
We highlighted off the top, all ACC second team, junior catcher from Brighton, Tennessee, just outside of Memphis. You see the OPS better than 1100 for a guy who you said is maybe going up the draft boards higher than we might have thought from the outside.
Well, yeah, I mean, you look at the numbers, right? He's hit 10 homers in his last 17 games. He's top 10 in the ACC in walks, homers, slugging, OBP, and runs. And he can really catch. So you're talking about a premium position and big-time offense.
Next, the 2-1 foul. This crowd will be fun for as long as this weekend goes in College Station. Detmer's 2-2. And full count on Rushing.
Rushing's got 50 walks and 20 hit by pitches. And when he gets hit by a pitch, you have to check the baseball because that dude is dense. I mean, you talk about a strong kid.
6'1", 220, every bit of it. A time call before the payoff. And the same can be said about a lot of these Louisville hitters.
Yeah, it's a program just in general that really invests in the weight room. Like, you're going to play for Louisville, you better be physical.
3-2's cut on and miss. Klotch completes the K, and Detmer punches out 2 in a 1-2-3 first. Loaded on the berm. Ready to go for the bottom of the first after a 0 put up by Nathan Detmer. And now here come the Aggies bats. And when you talk about this offense, you got to start with one of the transfers in Dylan Rock.
Dylan Rock, and how aptly named is this dude? I'm talking about, we talked about Dalton Rushing. This kid right here is as physical as any player in America. 861 at-bats career. So a veteran player who has come to Texas A&M and just flourished. Led the Southeastern Conference in runs scored in SEC play. And how about a 483 OBP? He has literally been the rock of this lineup. And don't sleep on the guys around him as well. Jack Moss in the 2-hole and Austin Bose, as talented as any 2 hitters in the country as well. And Jack Moss is 9 for 14 last weekend and was the College Station Regional MVP. So a bunch of firepower in an offense that averaged 10 runs a game last weekend.
Yeah, Moss was outstanding, so too was Rock, the big home run, the bat flip that followed, and now they go up against the senior right-hander Jared Poland out of the Indy area.
Yeah, Jared Poland came to campus. This is exactly where they expected him to be. The path to get here has maybe been a little wobbly, but he has truly turned into a #1 guy. When you're watching Poland, the slider is the key. It's about 2,700 RPMs, which is plus on a major league scale, and he has been a giant killer. How about against Virginia Tech, North Carolina, and Notre Dame, 3 super regional teams? He's only given up 4 runs in 19 in the 3rd inning. So this is a guy who's been at his best against the best opponents.
Now, we did get roughed up that last time out Saturday against Michigan in the winners bracket, 4 2/3, but got off to such an outstanding start in that one. He is the no doubt game 1 starter for Louisville here. Trevor Werner leads off for Texas A&M and takes strike 1. Now you're going to see a lot of patience from this Aggies offense. Werner's battled injuries over the course of this season. 3rd-year sophomore from Houston. Very talented. Oh, they're ready.
Oh, yeah, the student section up the first baseline is ready, and that sun beating down on them is not a problem for them.
I could have used one of those bucket hats.
Maybe, yeah.
On the golf course today.
Maybe that was our bad. This place is hopping now. There is not an empty seat in the building, and they are lined behind the left field wall for rows. I mean, this is what Super Regional Baseball is all about.
Elevated fastball does not tempt Werner. And again, for the casual fan who is tuned in, it's best of 3 to punch a ticket to the Men's College World Series in Omaha. 1-2, just inside off the edge.
Yeah, you're hearing the chants. You will hear that a lot from the Aggie faithful. They're going with Jared right now, chanting Jared Poland's first name, but that's the 12th man up there in the top of the first base section. They will be into it from start to finish.
Jared's 2-2 on a check swing. He went around. And Poland begins with a punch out.
Well, it appears as though both aces are in top form here early. Obviously, a ton of ball game in front of us, but there's that slider, Mikey. That's the one, right? When he gets that late, sharp dive, he can be really, really tough to handle. And Poland wins battle number 1. 2,700
RPMs for a spin rate. That's good at any level.
Yeah, anything over 2,500 is plus, but you start getting 2,700 to 3,000 RPMs, and you're in the elite company even at the major league level. So Jared Poland can really spin that thing.
Well, here's Jack Moss, sophomore from the Denver area, who transferred in after spending his freshman year at Arizona State. He did not get time granted and fouls it off. This guy is a professional hitter in every way.
He really is. And, you know, Jim Schlossnagel, Mike Early, the hitting coach, Coach Schloss, the head coach, they run the offense. And one of their mantras is working counts, being extremely selective. It's not that they're not allowed to hit early, but they really want to hone in on great pitches to hit. And if they don't get it, not be afraid to get to 2 strikes. And if there's one hitter in this lineup that seems to have a very slow heartbeat when he gets to 2 strikes, it's Jack Moss. Just does a fantastic job of hitting even when he's behind in the count.
Which he is now against Poland. Rocks and deals a 1-2. In the air, foul.
I thought a really cool clip of Moss is when he caught that out for the regional championship. And Moss, as you said, a Colorado kid, grew up loving Todd Helton and the Colorado Rockies, and he almost did the exact same expression that Helton did when the Rockies won the 07 NLCS, and we were talking to him about it. He got a kick out of that. Said it was not planned,
yep,
but that he agrees it did look a lot like it. So maybe there was something subliminal going on there.
He said, what, since 6 years old, that was the team he watched, of course, growing up there. And now a sophomore here in year 1 at A&M.
A little surprised he doesn't wear 17. Maybe 9 has, you know, we need to ask him about that. As much
A little
as
close to the heart, maybe?
Yeah.
3-2 the count. Speaking of Todd Helton, we will get updates on other super regional action, but of course Helton, like you, a former Tennessee Volunteer, and they are battling over on ESPN2 against Notre Dame.
The Irish are proving to be a very worthy opponent, up 8-3 right now in the bottom of the 7th. In a interesting one in Knoxville, to say the least.
Struck well, left field. Masterman is back. It's off the wall. Moss motors to second with a 1-out double.
And there you go, professional hitter, folks. Just grind and foul pitches off, and eventually find one that you like. And Moss does a really good job of using the backside of the field. Gets a fastball down and out over the plate. And look at him get that nose down. Watch him keep his nose down over that baseball, and the strength to drive it off the left center field wall just over the head of Masterman.
And the dugout loves it. By the way, we will see Pringles in one dugout, Cocoa Puffs in another dugout.
Because why not?
Because college baseball is the greatest.
That's it. That's it.
And here is Dylan Rock out of the 3-hole, the left fielder for A&M. Transferred in from UTSA, where he put up good numbers. He had a good career in 4 seasons, but man, what he has done this year with 18 bombs.
Yeah, and he saved his best for conference play. I mean, he was one of the best hitters against SEC competition, which really speaks highly of his ability to continue to progress as he gets into professional baseball. But he has become one of the more feared hitters in the Southeastern Conference, and he put it on full display last weekend. 7 for 13 with a homer and 5 ribbies, and of course the big blow against the Horned Frogs in Game 3.
Yeah, monster home run we showed you in the 7th. They had been leading by 1 against the 2 seed in that regional here, TCU. And Rock extended the lead to 4, and he followed with a big old bat flip. And we asked him about it. He said, I didn't even mean to do it. I didn't know it landed in the first base coach's box. What a season.
How about that? 18 homers at UTSA over 175 games, and he has matched that here in just 57 games for the Aggies. What a pickup. Had only 2 SEC offers when he entered the transfer portal.
3-0. Misses, and a 4-pitch walk, and there's 2 on for Texas A&M. That is one of the great traditions in college baseball. The ball 5 chant here at A&M.
I mean, it gets me every time, Mike. And so they will do this, folks, until you throw a strike. So they are predicting the next ball, and if it is ball 5, you'll start hearing ball 6 chants.
The count climbs. Out of the zone as well from Poland.
And it just gets louder.
Front row. A&M faithful firing up the contingent here. On a 2-0 to Austin Boast. Out of the zone. 3-0.
And you could say that the chant is getting to him, but Austin Boast is getting to him too. I mean, this is a red-hot hitter, and you don't want to just groove on as much as you want to sit that crowd down. And now it gets real interesting.
Only 28 walks in about 80 innings for Jared Poland this season. There's a strike. My first time experiencing it in person.
Is it as good as I made it sound?
Yes.
Okay. I was just wondering. It is one of the best traditions anywhere.
Dan McDonald taking his team to enemy territory. Outside, ball 4. So back-to-back walks from Poland have loaded the bases for A&M.
Well, and Mike Lusky just doesn't look like he's going to be too generous off the outside corner. So if you're Jared Poland, you're going to have to get outs on the plate. And now comes Ryan Targach, who's turned himself into one of the best RBI guys in America.
And Roger Williams, the longtime pitching coach at Louisville, emerges from the first base dugout. 22 pitches from Jared Poland already. And some traffic for Louisville headed down to their bullpen.
And the pitch Poland likes to go at lefties with is the changeup. So don't be surprised if he doesn't start this AB off with a first pitch changeup. Now, they know what we know, which is A&M is not the most aggressive first pitch swinging team. So I wouldn't be shocked if Poland doesn't challenge with a first pitch strike, but this is just one of those moments, right? Jared Poland, it wasn't great against Michigan last week. This is definitely not the way you wanted things to start. By the same token, if you're the Aggies, you get an ace on the ropes early, you better get him, because you let a guy like Poland settle in, he could be standing out there in the 6th or 7th inning.
We told you how hot it is. I mean, Poland is wearing out that rosin bag as well here in this bottom of the first inning. We had a good lather going just during BP. Strike 1 to start out on 95 to the aforementioned Ryan Targach. Big RBI producer, as you said. He's had an excellent sophomore season. 56 driven in, and the OPS better than 1,000. Cut on and miss. Good change.
There's the changeup, right? So you get ahead with the fastball, you come back with the changeup. I would expect either elevated heater here, maybe he tries to nibble one off the plate or bounce that changeup. But now Poland's certainly in the driver's seat after two really good pitches after the meeting from Roger Williams.
Poland's 0-2. Got another change.
Targach led the Southeastern Conference in RBIs in conference play. That's a pretty loud stat. Bost led the SEC in hits in SEC play, Rock in runs, and Targach in RBIs. That kind of offense Poland's dealing with.
Breaking ball, cut on and miss. Back foot, filthy. 2 Ks, 2 down.
Well, you talk about stepping up to a moment, right? It looks like he's on his heels and the crowd's maybe getting to him a little bit, and then how about break off a bender after starting with a fastball away and getting a swing and miss at a changeup, a nasty slider underneath the hands of Targach, and now Poland just one pitch away from getting off the field.
He's got to deal with the Texas A&M catcher in the 6th spot, Troy Clonch, the Oregon State transfer. First pitch just misses with a fastball at 94 to the batter that the Aggies call Clutch Clonch. Been in big spots over the course of this season, and he is maybe the most pronounced of the leaders here at A&M. 1-1.
Yeah, he wears that number 12. It's the tradition that Jim Schlossnagle wanted to start. Put the, we know that with the Aggie football program, right? That the walk-on wears number 12 as part of the kind of the 12th man. But Jim Schlossnagle wanted to bring it to the baseball program, right? And kind of the guy who displayed the best leadership qualities throughout the fall was going to wear number 12 in the spring. And how about that from the transfer from Oregon State?
2-1. Jim Schlossnagle said to us it was unanimous that Clonch would be the guy to wear that number that means so much to this school and program. 2-1. Cut on and miss at 93, and it's 2-2 with the bases loaded and 2 down.
And that's a good sign too, right? To get a swing and a miss on a fastball lets you know that Poland's got good life on that heater. Man, what a big pitch in this ball game. We talked about all that's on the line when you got an ace on the ropes in the first. Big boost here for the Cards if Poland can post a 0.
On the 31st pitch of the inning, it hits Clonch, and A&M strikes first.
Boy, and that just felt like a classic case of overthrowing, right? You threw the 1-1 past him, or the 2-1 past him, excuse me, to even up the count. And then on 2-2 right there, it looked like Poland maybe tried to grab an extra gear, and the fastball just gets away from him. Not the worst thing in the world to give up a run, but the errant throw leads to the Aggies' first run of the ball game.
So 2 walks, a hit batter, bases still loaded, and now to the 7th spot for the right fielder, Brett Minnick. Squibs one off the end of his bat, foul. When do you start thinking about the total pitches thrown in 1 inning?
Well, look at him, right? The hat coming off as he's laboring a little bit between pitches. And again, it's 95 degrees out there, right? And he was warming up in the right field bullpen when it was still 100, and that sun was beating down on him. Now the shade has come in, and it probably feels a little bit better. But this is a significant workload, not just the number of pitches, but also with the elements.
His 0-1 to Minnick. 0-2.
Another good changeup. See, Poland keeps taking that hat off. I do think an inning like this probably, I mean, not just because of the number of pitches, but all the gas that he's exerting to just try to get through it. I think this limits how deep he could potentially go into a ball game. But at this point, that's that's a subplot to just getting off the field here with only one run across.
0-2 to Minnick. Up and away.
And that looked like the classic waist fastball, right? So you got ahead with a couple really good changeups, and you speed up the hitter with a fastball up and away. I'd be shocked if this isn't a changeup again here to try to get off the field.
Minnick has the second most punch outs on the team. Takes the fastball tailing away 2-2.
Well, if that wasn't the changeup, this one is. I mean, I think Poland tipped his hand already, right? First two pitches, changeups. Minnick didn't see either one of them particularly well. Got to go back to that here.
With a run in and the bases still loaded. 2-2. Cut on and miss. Did go to the change, and Poland limits the damage, but Texas A&M on the board first.
Sounded awfully confident in the week leading up to this game, and they certainly have played like it.
56 wins for Tennessee coming in, a program record. But you saw the curse of the 1 seed. We have not had a national champion from the #1 overall seed since 1999 Miami.
None this century. Zilcho.
Well, we've got game 1 here in the College Station Super Regional. Chris Burke, Mike Monaco, our entire crew, and Jack Payton lines one into center. And he's got a leadoff base hit off Nathan Detmer. First base runner for the Cards.
And that's a big start, right? You stand out there and sweat it out for what felt like probably a half hour. It might have been a half hour, I don't know.
Yeah.
But then, you know, your cleanup hitter hits a rocket after Detmer kind of carved up your 1-2-3 hole in the first, and now the Cards got a little something going themselves.
Payton was at the forefront of the comeback on Monday in a winner-take-all regional final, Game 7, and so was this guy, Levi Usher. Speedy as he squares and pulls back, and Usher in the 8th inning came through with a game-tying 2-run single with 2 outs, made it 9-9, and then the guy on deck, Cam Masterman, hit the go-ahead home run in what was a thrilling and also controversial finish.
Yeah, there's a couple calls that certainly I think the dugouts disagreed on which way they went, but
Usher in the air on a line to left. It sends Rock spinning at the wall to make the catch. One away.
That was a rocket. And we talked about Detmer has to pitch down in the zone, right? We've already seen 3 hitters now. Knapczyk hit a ball that almost got to the wall. Payton just hit a rocket in the right center gap, and now Usher hits a ball that this ball would have hit midway into the left field wall had Rock not made the play. We talked about how physical he is in stature. Well, that is a big blow that he just took running into the wall, but he seems to be fine, and the Aggies dodge a bullet.
Yeah, he waved off his center fielder, Jordan Thompson. That is a big first out for Nathan Detmer. Payton still at first here in the second. Well, here's Cam Masterman, 5th-year senior, the left fielder, all ACC 3rd-team choice, and he homered 4 times in the regional at Louisville last weekend.
We talked about that controversial 8th inning, but you think about it. Louisville still had to make those plays, right? Usher still has to get the 2 RBI base hit. Masterman still has to stay back on that breaking ball and launch it into the left field seats. Like, you still got to make those plays, whether you agree with those calls or disagree with those calls. The Cardinals were certainly up to the task to take advantage. And again, like we talked about in the open, just pretty cool for a team that had been preaching finish, finish, finish all season long, for them to come back in the 8th inning to get a regional championship.
I mean, they've been preaching it to the point that you asked Dan McDonald, hey, you really said this like every practice. Like, did it become funny at some point when Dan McDonald would show his players late in every practice the numbers last year and how they struggled in the 7th and in the 8th and in the 9th and didn't have comeback wins? inside 2-2. And so in some ways fitting that that's how they did it to get through to the Super Bowl.
Oh, completely. And, you know, you'll be good. If you emphasize it, you'll be good at it, was his line, right? If you emphasize it, you'll be good at it. So he just thought, man, what we need to get better at is playing better late in games. And you look at that 7th inning or later, last season, -13, this year, +69.
This is a bullet into center field, a base hit. Peyton goes first to third on a rocket from Masterman, and Louisville's got him at the corners.
So a staple of the Louisville program is they are going to run the bases. They lead the ACC in stolen bases literally every year. They stole 100 again this year. And it's not just the stolen base, right? It's the extra base. So this is Jack Payton now, Mike. He's a DH, and when he doesn't DH, he catches. That's a rocket to the center fielder. He never thought about pulling up. Put the gas pedal down from the second he got his secondary. Because of that, there's not even a play. Thompson wisely threw the ball to second base because Cameron Masterman had his gas pedal down as well. And if that ball would have gone to third, you'd end up at second and third. And part of playing the Cardinals, you have to defend their aggressive nature on the base pass.
And with that, they threaten here in the second, down 1. Now Isaac Humphrey. Sophomore right fielder from Calhoun, Kentucky. One of the second-year players, redshirt freshman in Humphrey's case, who had to wait his turn behind a veteran team last year. But boy, has he had a big season too. That's a little bit high. 2-0 from Detmer.
All right, well, here you go, right? Cards weather a storm and only give up 1 after it was really dicey last inning, and now you get a 2-0 count with runner in scoring position, a chance to even the game up.
Three and 0. Detmer deals. 4-pitch walk, and now Louisville has him loaded.
Well, we told you to settle in, folks. This is going to be a game full of punches and haymakers, and you're going to have to probably get up off the mat a few times, standing 8 counts, like a couple offenses that just can make pitchers feel uncomfortable, especially if they fall behind in the count. And now for Louisville, Logan Beard, the redshirt freshman, who is the leader on the team in batting average with runner in scoring position.
A guy who, as a true freshman last year when he was redshirting, some of the vets started calling him LeMahieu for hits like that up the middle into center field, base hit. Peyton scores. Masterman right behind him, and Louisville leads in the second. And just as you said, Louisville on the base pads takes an extra 90 on top of it.
Just gas pedal down at all times. So first of all, you got the freshman continuing to play like a superstar in big moments, hitting over 370. What I love is 4-pitch walk. Be ready for the first one, right? After a 4-pitch walk, you know the pitcher's going to challenge in the strike zone. He gets a fastball right down Broadway, a beautiful short stroke right back up the middle. And watch the Cardinals put the gas pedal down, right? Humphrey's going to run right in your face. And then Logan Beard, look at Logan Beard, never slows down. And just like that, you make a mistake and think you could throw somebody out at third, and you end up now with 2 runners in scoring position. Louisville's not ready to throw a party at first base and celebrate. They are going to put the gas pedal down until you stop them. And what an answer here from the Cardinals.
As an individual defensively, how do you counter that pressure when you feel it coming and you know that's the way they're going to run the bases?
Well, you have to throw to the correct base, which is interesting because Jordan Thompson did it the play before, right? He didn't try to throw Peyton out, who's slower than Humphrey. Yet for whatever reason right there, he got a little overexcited, tried to throw Humphrey out when he couldn't, and now you give up a free base, and instead of a chance at an inning double play, you got Ben Bianco up with 1 out and runners at second and third.
3 hits and a walk for Louisville here in this top of the second. And now Bianco indeed. Veteran first baseman out of the 9th spot. Fifth-year senior and the son of Ole Miss head coach Mike Bianco takes a breaking ball for strike one.
Bases aren't loaded, but Bianco has become a legend this year with the bases loaded. 3 grand slams and 19 ribbies. But at second and third, this is not your normal 9-hole hitter, right? 11 homers, 51 ribbies in the 9-hole. A scary, scary dude sitting there with the top of the order about to come up. And I bet Coach Bianco's dialed in right now watching us, right? Their super doesn't start till tomorrow.
In what's going to be quite an atmosphere as they go up against Southern Miss.
Ooh, that will be hopping in Hattiesburg.
0-1. Breaking ball again, and it's a ball and a strike on Ben Bianco. Dan McDonald has talked all season about the offense going 1 through 9 and the balance that they have compared with the pitching staff, which maybe doesn't have the same defined roles. The offense has led the way.
Well, you know, it's a perfect mix of maturity and youth. And the young players they have with Knapczyk, Beard, and Humphrey just don't, and Peyton, don't carry themselves like youngsters, right? They carry themselves like vets. But then they are matched with Rushing and Metzinger and Usher and Masterman, these guys that have so many at-bats that have really produced.
2-2.
I think if you're Bianco here, you have to be able to be willing to let the ball travel. I think Detmer's proven he wants to get the righties out with the breaking ball.
Threw it again, and Bianco did just that.
Yeah, I mean, you have to commit to letting the fastball beat you. You see him choked up on the bat there a little bit, and this is just one of those deals where you just eliminate the left side of the field, pick a target. Maybe it's between the first and second baseman, and say, I'm just going to try to let the ball get to the plate and fight it off if I have to, but do not get out in front of that breaking ball.
Bianco in the air center field as Thompson gets to it. Humphrey readies at third, and Louisville adds on. 3-1 Cards.
That's just a good AB, right? Detmer did not throw his best breaking ball right there. Kind of a spinner that actually almost ended up on the inner third of the plate. Bianco did exactly what you'd hope your veteran would do right there, which was get that ball elevated for just an easy old sac fly. And the Cards with a pretty big answer here, 3 spot in the top of the second.
They flip over the lineup to the leadoff man, Christian Knapczyk. 7th Louisville hitter to come to the plate this inning in the second against Nathan Detmer. He went 1-2-3 on 17 pitches in the first, and now 22 pitches deep in his second inning of work. You know, Texas A&M has talked about it all season as well, the starting pitching, and Jim Schlossnagle said to us this week, I love our pieces as a pitching staff, and if we can get 2 decent starts or just 1 in any weekend, and he's been saying it all year, we can piece the rest of it together, and boy, if they get 2, they feel really good.
Yeah, they've just been dying for a quality start, right? And it's just been hard to come by. The bullpen has carried a heavy, heavy load for this team all season long.
Blocked by Klotch, and Beard moves up 90.
It's just a no-brainer with this club, right? You see that ball in the dirt, aggressive secondary crossover and go. Now Knapczyk. Knapczyk can do a lot of things here. You see Werner drawn in at third. Like, they know he still could drop down a bunt here in this situation.
The PFPs were an issue.
Definitely.
For A&M last week.
A&M just in general, playing catch all around the infield has been an issue, but certainly on the mound.
Detmer trying to leave him in. On the ground right side, and Targac throws out Knapczyk. But Louisville strikes for 3 and leads by 2 on the road in game 1 in the second.
loaded. It's just the middle of this Aggie order where you just don't get away with much. And now you got to deal with Austin Boast, who's as talented as any of them.
Cleanup hitter, DH, and he is a line drive machine. Four walks and a hit batter for Jared Poland. He's generated 5 outs. Slider misses. "36 pitches in the first, 25 more here in the second. 1-0 to Boast. Cut on and miss.
Boy, there's some carries still to the fastball. I know it's just 62 pitches, but it's 62 high-stress pitches in a very short period of time. And if you were wondering if Poland still had a little juice in the tank, that was a big fastball there just past the barrel of Boast.
Poland left them loaded in the first. His 1-1. Sails high, 2 balls and a strike on Boast.
This feels like you have to go with breaking ball here. Back-to-back fast one. That one right there moved his eye level. Seems like a perfect time to try to spin that breaking ball here.
2-1. Another fastball, and it's popped up. Up the third base line as Metzinger approaches and hangs on. Jared Poland does it again, leaves him loaded in the second as well. Represented here tonight in College Station, Texas, and well represented in the Super Regionals of the 16 remaining.
Yeah, I mean, you got 9 of the 16, right? The SEC has 5, the ACC has 4, and that seems to be a pretty common theme this time of year, right? The two best baseball conferences in America hold that banner high every postseason.
Louisville up by 2, bottom of the third. 5, 6, and 7 for A&M, starting with Ryan Targach. Yeah, Louisville, the 12 national seed, had a great year in the ACC, and Texas A&M on the flip side, they won the West in the SEC.
First time they had done that, right? As many things as they have accomplished over the last decade or so, they were yet to win the West, but they did that this year, and they ate a whole bunch of Pringles along the way.
And like wins, they said, once you have one Pringle, you want more.
Just can't stop.
That's how it started.
Yeah.
You'll see it in the Aggies dugout as well. And Pringles corporate was here outside the ballpark before the game.
Because why wouldn't they be? I mean, they've gotten a lot of run out of the Aggie dugout this year. Micah Dallas, there's the big Pringle jar. Does Micah Dallas have his Pringle holster going? There we go. Mr. Pringle tailgated pregame. Love the Aggie cap.
Yeah, he's got his cap.
Over the right eye.
He's got the flat brim. They got Pringles, they got the gritty.
Yeah.
Whenever they hit a bomb. "3-2 from Jared Poland is skied to right. It sends Humphrey back and now in to make the catch for the first out. Well, 40 wins for Texas A&M, a team that was unranked in the preseason after the coaching change, after moving on from 16 seasons of Rob Childress. Early struggles in the SEC, sitting there at 4-5. They did have the great weekend against LSU, and then what a finish to conference play.
Yeah, how about they won their last 7 series and then beaten TCU, right? And the regional championship was kind of a bittersweet deal for Schloss, but it's pretty interesting. The Horned Frogs seemed to always be on the better end of things when he was in the purple uniform, right. And this past weekend, the Aggies got the dub with him in the other dugout, but That was a really good game until the Aggies just blew it open late. Kirk Saarloos and his club had a Big 12 championship season in year one of his tenure there as the head coach at TCU. But, man, what a job Schloss has done.
Troy Klotch hits it well to right center field to the track, and Humphrey there with a second fly ball out here in the third.
One of the things, as we've seen early in this ball game, that will be a theme throughout this series is both teams can really go get the ball in the outfield. I mean, think about it. Dylan Rocks caught 2 balls running into a left field wall. We see Isaac Humphrey go deep into the right center field gap there. We saw Brett Minnick already lay out for a ball in right field. Like, hits are not easy to come by in the air to the outfield with these two clubs.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to watch Louisville's center fielder as well, Levi Usher, who was the ACC Defensive Player of the Year, and back in April, he was on SportsCenter's top 10 plays, coming in at first with a home run robbery. Minnick, who you mentioned, who had that diving catch, bats with 2 outs and the bases empty against Poland, who had to throw 64 pitches the first 2 innings.
But he's hanging in there. And we talked about it, right? A lot of times if you don't get that ace in the first, they can figure out a way to settle in there and end up giving you a quality start. Now he's 1 pitch away from going 3 innings, 1 run, which is not, you know, long way to go, but definitely a good start.
And still carry, as you said, on his fastball for swing and miss.
Yeah, he's getting some swings and misses on that heater, especially that one just above the belt.
Struck out Minnick last time on a change. Misses low, 2-2.
Boy, Rushing wanted that one, didn't he? He was working. Christian Knapczyk was already running off the field, as well as Ben Metzinger. The Cardinals wanted that pitch.
Knapczyk looked back at the video board waiting on a replay. Christian, it's not coming.
It's not happening here at Blue Bell.
2-2 is yanked on a line to right. Humphrey spins around and dropped the ball. Minnick to second. Nearly a fantastic catch by Humphrey. And instead, Minnick in scoring position with 2 down.
Wow. He really got turned around on that one, right? This ball looks like it's headed to his right, but then by the time he gets to it, the ball had so much hook spin to it, it was over his opposite shoulder. And you can watch Isaac Humphrey makes a late adjustment. Watch the late adjustment. He's running to his right, then flips the hips back to his left, and then looks like he caught the baseball. Let's see where it comes out. Comes out when he hits the wall. Wow. Wow, that is one heck of a catch. Nullified by the contact with the wall. And the wall can cause a fumble, folks. As painful as that is for a right fielder who just made such a great effort.
And that was late breaking, hooking action to it as well.
Yeah, oh, no doubt. I mean, that's why he got turned around. So to stay with that ball was awfully impressive.
Frustration for the Louisville right fielder, and now Jordan Thompson bats and takes strike 1. So again, it's traffic on the base paths for Texas A&M against Jared Poland, but so far just that 1 first-inning run to show for it.
Yeah, and that has to be a little frustrating for Poland because he was on the verge of having his first 3 up, 3 down.
0-2.
The strike call doesn't go his way, and then the ball that just rattles out of the glove of Isaac Humphrey, and now you're in a run-scoring situation, grinding to get off the field.
Poland ahead 0-2 on Thompson. Comes home. On the ground, base hit left field. Minnick rounds third. Masterman bobbles. And it's a 1-run ball game.
Opportunistic, and here come the bubbles, folks. Get used to seeing that this weekend, as they like to have fun with their run-scoring bubbles in the crowd here in Aggie land. You got to get one of those shirts, Mike. That's top-notch.
My man knows where to find the camera up close and personal.
Yes.
How about Jordan Thompson coming through? A guy who's really been the starting center fielder only since the middle of April, in there for Logan Britt, and as you said, coming through in a big spot.
Yeah, just the ability to take advantage of the ball bouncing your way, right? That could have easily been the third out on the ball hit to Humphrey. Instead, the inning stays alive, and an offense that can hurt you in any part of the order does just that.
And now Jared Poland preparing to throw his 80th pitch of the night with 2 away in the third. It's a 4th-year player for Louisville who came in as a 2-way guy. Endured injury last year, a broken foot kept him out for a couple of months. And now the ace of the staff for Louisville. And Thompson takes second.
Delay steal right there from Thompson. That was not a straight steal, was it?
No.
Let's take a look here. Watch this. Shuffle, shuffle, go. Yeah, the old delay steal looked like, I don't know, Napchik was there. Looked like he caught more of rushing napping than anybody, but that could be a tough play to defend with a left-handed hitter, right? Because the catcher doesn't really see the runner going until he breaks the eye line of the left-handed hitter, and he was just a little late there.
Cole Kaler lays off on a breaking ball. So is that more of the time to do it when you got a lefty in the box?
Yeah. 2 outs, left-hander in the box. You know, it's one of those plays you don't see a ton, so usually when you do it, you can catch somebody off guard. Again, it looked like the Louisville defense was in a position to make the catch at second base. Rushing just didn't see it in time.
Good breaking ball there for Poland.
That one almost looked like the Uncle Charlie there, right? That one looked like it had a little top to bottom breaking ball break to it, more so than the slider that has a little more horizontal break to the right-handed hitters. I always like a pitcher that can change the shape to his breaking ball depending on what he wants it to do.
He's thrown a couple of them here to Cole Kaler. And on a 1-2 in the air, center field, with room for Levi Usher to end the inning. But Texas A&M gets a run, trails by 1 after 3, as Jordan Thompson comes through for the Aggies.
Just a matter of time for the Aggies to throw another punch. They take advantage of this ball just popping out of the glove of Isaac Humphrey, and Jordan Thompson pays it off with a bullet to left field. We got ourselves a good one, folks. They're eating Pringles here at Bluebell Park.
Christian Napchik. 3rd time through, as you heard Coach say, for Nathan Detmer. And look, at Jim Schlossnagle said it last weekend was emotional, and playing TCU, he said afterward, look, if I had to do it over again, I probably would have handled it differently in how the goodbye goes in leaving that program. But he also said it's tough to do. A bobble by Targac at second, and Napchik is aboard with 1 out here in the 5th inning.
And we'll see how that is scored. I'm putting E4 in my book. I don't know what they're going with, but this is going to go as an E4 against Targac. And this is an Aggie defense that committed 9 errors in 3 games last weekend. They're fielding just 930 in the postseason. And, you know, the infield defense has been an issue, and it especially bites when you've got the top of the order here right behind Napchik.
2nd worst fielding percentage in the SEC. And Amiscu puts Napchik aboard. He can pressure you. And now Ben Metzinger singled his last time leading off the 3rd. All ACC 3rd-team choice. up high, ball one from Detmer.
I remember the first time Detmer got Metzinger with all breaking balls. Then this next at bat, Metzinger hit a first pitch fastball liner into right field. Here Detmer goes back to that first pitch breaking ball, and it didn't have a lot to it, right? And this is one of those hitters where he's now seen it quite a few times. The shadows are gone. Like, better be careful if you make a mistake with that pitch to Metzinger.
Bounces in a fastball, 2-0.
You heard Jim Schlossnagle talking about the quick hook, right? If they didn't get what they wanted to see from Detmer in this one, it would not be long. And we can't see the Aggie bullpen, but with rushing on deck, something tells me one of their left-handers is ready to go. And there you go, right there. Well done, boys.
Johnny Hanna, director to the Stars. Yeah, you got two of the next three after Metzinger are lefties. You mentioned Rushing, then a righty in Peyton, then a lefty in Levi Usher. And Rushing is the guy in the 3 spot with the 22 home runs this year. Now before 3-0, this can allow for a little more time out there in the pen. And while we got a moment, we remind you that on Sunday, the Mets, they wrap up their 10-game West Coast road trip against Shohei Ohtani and the Angels. Here on ESPN, on ESPN Deportes and ESPN Radio. Our coverage starts 6 Eastern with Baseball Tonight Sunday Night Countdown. .75 pitches on a hot night, and again, third time through, which at the big league level, at the college level, you hear more and more about. You got your weapon for a left-hander for the Aggies. You saw Joseph Menifee. They call him Moo. Big strikeout totals looming as an option for the lefty Rushing. 3-0. There's a strike.
So 3-0 count. You send your veteran catcher out to the mound. Pitching coach doesn't go. They just do kind of a team meeting at the mound. All right, and you come back. I thought maybe that was put on the brakes, throw ball 4, bring the left-hander in. But now you come back and throw a gutter ball right down the middle.
And this is hit hard past the dive of Warner into the left field corner. Knapczyk speeds to third. He gets a windmill there. Knapczyk to the plate, and it's a 2-run ball game once again for Louisville. So they grooved the 3-0, and then on the 3-1, Metzinger comes through.
Yeah, I mean, you're doing the meeting at the mound. It feels like you're doing that because you're going to make the change, and then to one of the best hitters in the country, gutter ball, and Benny Met's not going to miss that one too much. Yeah, he swings over the top of that sinker just a touch, but a bullet in the left field corner. And don't forget Knapczyk reached on an error. Dylan Rock doesn't handle this one. Watch this, Mikey. Dylan Rock overruns this one in the left field corner, and 2 defensive miscues leads to another run for the Cards as they push the lead to 2.
And a fired up Christian Knapczyk scoring all the way from first. And it ends the evening for Nathan Detmer. He departs with 1 away in the 5th, and Joseph Menifee comes on for the Aggies when we come back after this.
Reaching. He was certainly reaching that lead out just a touch too far. Looked like he was on his way. And what could have been a 3rd out of the inning turns into now a 2 RBI situation.
Menifee's 1-2. Popped him up, shallow center. Thompson races in and puts it away. So Joseph Menifee comes on for Nathan Detmer and picks up the Aggie starter here in the 5th. On the ground, up the middle. It's Kaler, the shortstop. Gotta hurry. Got it there in time.
What a play.
We'll see if Louisville has another look at this.
Boy, it looked like that foot just squeaked in there, Mikey, but Kaler, I thought Kaler was going to stay at second and let Targac flip him the ball. But Kaler aggressively comes across the bag and makes a big boy play running to his left. But man, it just looked like right at the end that Knapczyk quick stepped it. Let's see what the replay shows. Heck of a play there from Kaler.
Let's have a look.
Yeah, look how much range he covers here to his left, right? Cuts Targac off. Ooh, that was close. Well, the ball is gone, and his foot's still off the base. Now, the question is the definition of the catch. Is it when the glove moves or when the ball enters the glove? In the Major League game, I believe it's when the glove moves. We're splitting hairs, aren't we?
Right there.
I think the call in the field's going to stand.
At worst, I think.
I think so too.
Again, a phrase we've become so familiar with in sports, and it applies here as well. Only can change the call if there's indisputable video evidence to reverse it.
That ball is in his glove. Knapczyk's foot was still slightly off the base. I think that one's going to stand. And somehow did the Aggies wiggle out of that thing with no runs?
With no damage done. If it stands.
I'm really shocked Louisville didn't try to play any small ball there.
And you said, how about the range from Cole Kaler? Knew he had to hurry against Christian Knapczyk. Out at first. Kaler gets the Aggies off the field in the 6th inning. Big time play by the Aggies shortstop. Keener trying to escape. Is 2-2. Cut on and missed. Tate Keener fired up as he storms off the mound in the 6th. Wow.
Boy, just a 6th inning, Mike, but those are some big boy pitches, back-to-back innings. We see relievers in this ball game just answer the bell, young fella. Tate Keener getting the Cards off the field in a big way.
After the one-out double, can Moo Menifee get off the field again? This time in the 7th. His 0-2. Swing and a miss. He got Usher to chase. Back-to-back punchies for Moo Menifee. And we hit the stretch. Louisville by 2.
Here, have a Triscuit.
All of us together.
There is some juice in the ballpark in College Station tonight at Bluebell Park. Tate Keener, all sorts of fired up when he came off the mound, and between him and Joseph Menifee, that is the way it's got here over the last few innings.
We got a couple lefties that are wheeling and dealing. Again, it hasn't been perfect, but man, are they stepping into the moment and making some big pitches when they absolutely need them.
If you just landed here, maybe you were watching basketball earlier, maybe you're winding down for the night, welcome. We got a good one going. Game 1 of this Super Regional. It's best of 3. College baseball for the right to advance out of this weekend to the Men's College World Series in Omaha, Nebraska. We've got 16 teams left. He's Chris Burke. I'm Mike Monaco, our entire crew behind the scenes inside a rocking atmosphere. It's Louisville up by 2. On Texas A&M, who bats here with 6, 7, and 8 in the bottom of the 7th, beginning with Troy Klotch.
you think Steph Curry's entertaining, wait till you get a load of this game. You know what I mean? Come on.
And you say that as big a Steph guy as you will find.
That's it. But now that we got that one over, let's get to some primetime baseball.
Lock in, folks.
That's right.
Lock in. Two-one is hit hard. Base hit left field by Klotch. And a leadoff base knock for the Aggies to start the bottom of the 7th. Hey, next it is SportsCenter with SVP. He'll have live post-game reaction from Game 4 of the finals with Doris Burke, with Jalen Rose, and the player of the game. Plus, Tim Legler will break down the key moments in Boston at the Garden and Friday's biggest hits from around the Super Regionals and the big leagues as well. That and much more. SportsCenter with SVP next, right here on ESPN and the app.
I'm not trying to do Legs' job for him, but like the key moment was when Steph Curry got off the bus. Just saying. Once that happened and his foot was okay,
You were dissecting the way they're utilizing him, the shots he's taking earlier today. He is special.
He's totally different. It's totally different. I mean, there's just never been anybody like him.
You can flip over during commercial breaks, we would advise, to SportsCenter with SVP, currently on ESPN2. Big spot for Brett Minnick. He doubled and scored back in the 3rd, but goes left on left against Keener. Starts him out 2-0.
Well, and this is, this is one of those ABs where if you're Keener, you have such a deception to left-handed hitters, but you really take away from that when you can't get ahead, right? And just a couple, not just misses, but kind of easy takes here to start this AB with a runner already on first base. And if you're Minnick here, you're looking to get the head out, try to hit that 4-hole.
On the outside part of the plate, dotted by Keener.
That's a good pitch there, no doubt about it. The stuff, the stuff is, you can't argue the stuff. I mean, it's gnarly, right? But it's a matter of can he consistently execute and command his offerings. And when he does, boy, he is tough to handle.
2-1. We told you that Keener was the Friday night starting pitcher first 8 weekends of the season. And now as a reliever, where he's made 16 outings before tonight, 1.87 the ERA. And you asked him this week about the mindset change, and it just sounds like relieving fits him better.
Yeah.
And the way he can be max effort.
Max effort. I think he likes being out there more often. Some guys don't like the whole build-up and the drama to the start, you know?
He strikes out Minnick with a knee-high fastball for the first down.
And again, we talked about the advantage of Keener versus left-handers. It's an uncomfortable at bat, right? And the breaking ball is so big that you get a lot of these lefties sitting breaking ball. You want to know what it looks like when you're sitting breaking ball and you get a heater? Right there. I mean, that is a fastball right down Broadway. And Brett Minnick never gets the bat off of his shoulder. Why? Because he's sitting breaking ball. Because against the lefty that nasty, a lot of guys feel like they have to or they're not going to see it. And then bam, Keener just sneaks the heater right past him.
He has struck out 3 of the last 4 that he's faced and now gets the 8-hole hitter, Jordan Thompson. To your point, Keener against lefties this season, they've got an OPS of less than 600 against him, according to our friends at 643 Charts. He's been nasty. Gets the righty Thompson here.
Yeah, it's the arm slide. It's the ability to flip that breaking ball. Almost starts behind him, right? And there's just a lot of things that become very uncomfortable if you're standing on the left side of the plate against Tate Keener.
That is called a strike. Through the back door at the bottom of the zone. 0-2 on Thompson.
Rushing stole that one. That was all Dalton Rushing right there. That ball is not a great pitch from a strike standpoint, and Rushing really did a nice job of getting below that one and working it back up to the edge. Mike Lusky agreed.
Now the 0-2. Throw over to first to check on Klotch. He got a hitter here in Thompson, who came through with the RBI single back in the 3rd inning. At the time made it 3-2 as A&M inched closer. A guy who didn't play as much as he wanted early on this season. Coaching staff said that he was the ultimate team guy throughout and ready when called upon. Big spot again here. 1-2. Hits it in the air. Left center field. Usher back at the wall. Gone. This game is tied. Levi Usher did it earlier this year and almost pulled one back, but Thompson goes deep to tie it at 4.
And we got Bubbles, we got Gritty, and we got one monster swing of the bat from Jordan Thompson. Came into the postseason with just 3 home runs. He hit one last weekend. It was a very, very big one in their Game 1 win, and now another one here that is just the swing this crowd has been waiting for. And we all had to sweat it out, right, as Levi Usher looked like he just made the wet gym of the year, but just enough to get over his outstretched glove. How about Jordan Thompson going dead central?
He homered last Friday, as you said, against Oral Roberts. And now here in Game 1 to tie it in the 7th inning off Keener. 1-2 on Cole Kaler. Again, Jim Schlossnagle said that Jordan Thompson, there wasn't as much playing time early on as maybe he deserved. But he did move into the starting lineup in the middle of April. Settled into center, and some big swings here in the postseason. Breaking ball misses, 2-2.
Yeah, I mean, look, Jordan Thompson and Cole Kaler are competitive. They give you good at bats. Cole Kaler, we talked about how he works his way on the base, but like, it's not Beard and Bianco. It's not the fear factor that maybe Louisville has at the bottom of the order. That being said, Jordan Thompson's got 3 ribbies tonight. I mean, you just. Again, this offense, you just can't let up. They can hurt you 1 through 9.
And to your point, 7, 8, 9. Minnick doubled with 2 outs to start that in the 3rd. He scored. He's been on after he was hit by a pitch as well by Keener in the 5th. And then Thompson, 3 driven in. Kaler has walked twice, and he's got the count full here. 3-2. On a line over the glove of Beard into right center. Go-ahead run is on for the Aggies in the 7th.
Boy, what an at-bat. What an at-bat from Cole Kaler. Jordan Thompson, 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs. Cole Kaler, 1 for 2, has reached base 3 times.
And now the lineup goes back to the top for Trevor Werner. Leadoff man and 3rd baseman, who's 1 for 4. Smoked a single last time. And at 50 pitches for Tate Keener, here comes the Cardinals head coach Dan McDonnell. Jordan Thompson, have yourself a night, young man.
So he gets that fastball up, right? And you could tell he smoked it right out of the gate, but you're just wondering, is it a little too high? Does it have enough juice to get out of the yard to dead center? And one of the most explosive athletes in America goes as high up the ladder as he possibly could, and he was with me. He thought Levi Usher caught it because Usher has kind of made that commonplace, and then Jordan Thompson hits the gritty, and the Aggies are right back in it. They are having some fun here now that they have tied it back up.
It's what they've done all season. Jim Schlossnagle said it's the most resilient team that I've coached. He has preached that this season. They found competitive grit early on this season after a slow start, and they are showing it again here tonight in game 1 of this Super.
Well, he was going to get a breaking ball, I'm not sure, but now with 2 strikes, he better be ready to pull the trigger on that fastball down in the zone.
2 on, 2 out, 7th inning. 2-2. In the air to center, and Usher comes in, and Alex Galvan escapes. Facing Dylan Rock, Galvan leaves 2, and we go to the 8th, tied at 4.
Like running as he hits it. There's some creativity in the way this dude goes about his at-bats. You can see what he had in mind right there.
Yeah, he's just as you said.
He wants to work that backside of the field.
Can you sneak one in after going away the last few?
There'll be room in there. He's also taken 15 hit by pitches though, so you better not miss.
3-2. Pulled to center. Thompson retreats. Polish escapes. Why not? They have done it on both sides all night in College Station. Nearly a beer shower out there amid the bubbles, the Pringles.
There's a lot going on.
Yes, at Olsen Field at Bluebell Park. We told you earlier, Dan McDonald says Super Regionals are the most exciting weekend in all of baseball. The most intense, the most exciting brand of baseball you'll find. Hard to argue with how this has gone so far.
No, I'd say it's gone according to script, with the exception of, instead of 4-4, I think I figured it'd be maybe 8-8
yes.
right about now. And there's certainly been all the opportunities for it to be 8-8. There's just a noticeable lack of that big hit from either side. Still a few chances left for both teams to come up with that big swing of the bat.
And the Aggies send up 4, 5, and 6, starting with Austin Bose. Here in the bottom of the 8th inning, tied at 4 against Alex Galvan, who's got a new left fielder behind him. Cam Masterman out now. He would be due up 5th in the next half inning. Chris Sang, who came in to run. First pitch bunt got thrown out by Polish. Sang stays in left. 2-0 on Bose. This guy had a huge regional last weekend. 6 for 11, 2 home runs, 7 RBIs. Went deep Friday and Saturday. And after the game Saturday, he said this was the loudest that he has heard this ballpark in the 3 years he's been here.
I'm sure it was. I mean, obviously they hadn't hosted.
He bounces this one foul at 3rd.
And tonight, this crowd ready to set a new standard for Mr. Boast, I think. I mean, obviously one of the largest crowds they've ever had here. And even though the game has had so many different pitching changes, and again, not those kind of big moments that it felt like it was about to produce, this crowd has stayed engaged on every pitch.
2-1 is low and away. 3-1 on Bose. I told you Bose is a line drive machine. He likes to say boring equals barrels. This guy's raked all season. Galvin comes home. On the ground, hit hard, but right at Knapczyk.
Oh boy.
High throw, and the tag does not get Boast. He is on to begin the bottom of the 8th inning. And this here in the last 2 innings can go to review at the umpire's discretion. Knapczyk had some defensive struggles last season, has cleaned it up here in his sophomore campaign. Did Bianco get the tag on him?
Well, he certainly thinks that he did. And that's usually, if he did, it looked like he did before Boast reached first base. Yeah, that looks like he hit the shoulder of Boast. Yeah, that one won't take long. Shouldn't take long.
Yes, important clarifier. Chris Burke.
Well, and that's a good feeling. That is a good feeling if you're a shortstop, because you know as soon as you let that thing go that it's sailing on you. And when your first baseman bails you out, there is a rush of excitement to know, especially in a tie game, to lead off the bottom of the 8th.
I'll show you this same angle one more time.
It looks like he's touching his arm and his shoulder to me. Right there.
Right there.
I mean, yeah, the glove definitely hits the
Bounces back.
there. Yeah.
And so for Bianco, if it is indeed flipped, what a save over there at first. Out at first. Bianco bails out his shortstop, one away. First base was up for grabs entering this season for Louisville, but Ben Bianco asserted himself pretty early on. So one gone and no one on for Ryan Targach. 0 for 4, a couple of punch outs tonight. Up high.
I mean, think about this. We got Dylan Rock, Austin Boast, and Ryan Targach don't have a hit. And they've all been up in some really, really big spots. I mean, honestly, if you're Schlossnagle right now, you're tickled to death. Jordan Thompson's heroics to this point are why the Aggies are right here in this ball game. And the fact that they got a puncher's chance here down the stretch without anything to this point from 3, 4, and 5 is pretty remarkable.
As you said, they're 0 for 10. 4 strikeouts from the heart of the lineup. 2-0 is down. 3-0 on Targach.
Boy, and Dalton Rushing better be careful holding some of those pitches a little too long. You don't want to get on the bad side of home plate umpire.
.30 is a strike. We'll say this, there has been some interesting interplay between Rushing and a few of his pitchers tonight, not just one.
Yeah, and home plate umpire Mike Lusky.
Yep.
When he's been up to bat.
.3-1 to Targach, and he walks. 1 out base runner, go ahead runner aboard for the Aggies in the 8th. NCAA Super Regional coverage for all 8 sites continues tomorrow here on the ESPN family of networks. For more info, visit ncaa.com, the home for all 90 NCAA championships. We'll get started at noon tomorrow. Dan McDonald strides out. Boy, he has worn that path here tonight. They've used 5 different pitchers, and they will add to the total. How about this? Game 1 of a super tie game. They're going to get the big dog in the pen. Michael Prosecki. All ACC closer comes on for Louisville. Go ahead run aboard for Texas A&M in the 8th. Not a #1 seed. They did not host, but they emerged out of the Statesboro Regional last weekend, and they win at Tennessee.
They certainly did. It was a pretty loud performance by Notre Dame. Got up big and then held on. Up 8-1 at one point, held on for an 8-6 win. And they send their ace, John Michael Bertrand, out to the mound tomorrow. A crafty left-hander that's been around a very long time. The Notre Dame club proved that they are certainly not intimidated by the environment. Of course, we kind of expected that after last year's regional or super regional at Dudy Noble down in Starkville. So Vols are going to have their hands full.
Bertrand the ace, Michael Prosecki the ace reliever for Louisville. Junior lefty from Westchester, Illinois. All ACC second team choice, 11 saves, second best in that conference.
Power stuff, fastball up to 96 and a big hook.
Man aboard, he faces Troy Klotch, who goes first pitch hunting against Prosecki. Klotch got the scoring started in the first. Bases loaded. He got hit by a pitch. And he singled his last time through the left side, leading off the 7th. The leader on this Aggies team. Inside off the edge.
Trying to throw a changeup down and away there and pulled that one all the way back across the plate. That's one of those pitches. You try to throw a changeup down and away and it cuts on you, you get your feelings hurt with that pitch. You're fortunate that that one actually ran too far back across the plate.
With Targach at first and one down. Prosecki's 1-1. Curls inside. How about the career for Klotch? He's been a part of 4 regional teams, including right out of the gates to begin his career at Oregon State. Part of a national champion, backing up Adley Rutschman for a couple of years.
Pretty good guy to learn from.
Yeah. Two 2-1. Downstairs, 3-1.
Well, you're getting a heater right here. Take a look at Klotch's resume. All Pac-12 last year. A situation where he thought he was going to get drafted, then he didn't. Enters the portal, finds himself here in Aggie land because he used to play for Nate Yeske, the pitching coach for the Aggies, who was at Oregon State, then went to Arizona, now at A&M, right? So when he saw Klotch in the portal, it's like, hey, come on down here and let's hook up again. And really sight unseen, right? Just hopped on down to Texas, and here he is wearing number 12 and playing a huge role in everything they've done this season. Boy, would he love to have one big swing of the bat right here.
Check on Targach from Prosecki. as they chant Prosecki's name. Another throw over.
Michael's stalling, I think is what they're saying.
They're onto him.
Pretty creative.
His 3-2 is high, ball 4. Back-to-back walks worked by the Aggies here in the 8th.
At this point, you know, obviously Rushing's out there to talk to Prosecki, but like, this is the guy. So there's probably, barring something that, you know, completely unexpected, like there's not another move to make here if you're the Cardinals. You've given the ball to your closer with 1 out in the 8th, and you are hoping that he can get you through. Your offense can make some plays, and that'll be it. But not a great start here from Prosecki.
The 6th Louisville pitcher tonight, who now goes left on left with Brett Minnick, the right fielder in the 7 spot for Texas A&M, who had a pull side double back in the 3rd that Isaac Humphrey almost caught at the wall. First pitch. Wave and a miss. 72 from Prosecki.
And, you know, pretty incredible the discrepancy between fastball and breaking ball with Prosecki. You know, he'll throw that fastball 93, 96. That's a 72-mile-an-hour hook. You're talking about minus 20 off of his fastball.
As they stack hats, hoping for that big hit here in Aggie land. And you come back and speed him up with a fastball.
21 miles an hour difference in those first 2 pitches. And now you really got a hitter spinning, right? Because he's thinking, I've seen both the best bullets, 2 vastly different pitches, and I got to somehow get in a frame of mind to protect both of them.
Two on, 1 out, tied in the 8th. 0-2. Strike 3 called. Prosecki fans Minnick. A big strikeout for out number 2.
And we saw it the last time with Minnick. I think he just continues to get caught looking for that breaking ball. And while that's not right down the middle, that's a pitch that you would expect to try to fight off. But just a nice sequence there from Prosecki, who after a shaky first AB really settled down there in that sequence.
And look who it is to face Prosecki. Jordan Thompson with 2 on. First pitch strike to the 8-hitter for A&M, who had the RBI single in the 3rd that made it a 1-run game, and then supplied the most recent scoring tonight in the 7th with a 2-run tank. Fourth-year junior from the San Antonio area. Oh, 1. Tried the bender, a ball and a strike on Thompson.
The curveball maybe not quite as effective against right-handers as left-handers, but what it does is slows them down, right? And the fastball is just, it's not only high velo, but it's a quick arm, and the ball seems to jump on hitters. So after slowing them down with a breaking ball, I would expect to go back to the heater here.
On a 1-1, another breaking ball, and it misses the inside part of the plate. 2-1.
Now you probably backed yourself in the corner, right? You miss with back-to-back breaking balls. To me, as a hitter, this is where you are definitely sitting dead red.
Dan McDonald wanted strike 2 instead of ball 2, had something to say to Mike Lusky, the home plate umpire. Two-one pitch. It was the fastball at 93, 2-2.
And I talk about what a hitter looks like when they're sitting on a breaking ball and get a fastball frozen. Like, that's what you look like when you're sitting dead red, which obviously he's going to be frustrated that he left the zone, but that's a hitter in Jordan Thompson that was sold out to the fastball, and unfortunately for him, just climbed the ladder at a pitch, a touch out of the zone.
Two out, 2 on in the 8th. Persecki's 2-2. Fouled back by Thompson.
Another good fastball right there, 95. And Thompson just a little tardy on that one. That fastball from Persecki, boy, it has some finish to it.
Persecki is ready. 2-2 is low. Heck of a take, full count.
You said it. I mean, you talk about a big-time take. That pitch was a strike for, I don't know, 95% of its life. Thompson spits on it. You know, the old adage is if you throw a 2-2, you got to throw a 3-2, but I really believe Persecki's going back to the fastball here.
Pivot back toward Targach at second. The stud closer against tonight's Texas A&M hero so far. The payoff. Pulled foul.
Jordan Thompson, you know, every once in a while you get these dudes that, like, we talked about Cam Masterman right now, locked in, like, even as good as his numbers are, he's locked in at a level that's higher. Jack Moss. Jordan Thompson has that same feel to him, right? It wasn't a great weekend last weekend, but boy, he certainly looks like he's seeing the baseball at a very high level here this evening.
Staring down another 3-2. Persecki deals. Popped up foul. And how about all the pitches A&M has seen? More than 200 that they have seen from Louisville pitching. It's about 60 more pitches than Louisville has seen offensively.
Yeah, I mean, it's their MO, right? This is what they do. They just grind you out. And regardless of the outcome of this game, A&M has taken a big chunk out of U of L's pitching staff tonight.
A&M 1 for 11 with runners in scoring position. On another 3-2, it's ball 4. Thompson works the walk. What a plate appearance to load him up for Cole Kaler. I mean, Jordan Thompson has been something tonight.
Yeah, he's just putting together quality ABs. Stop me if you heard this one before, but A&M's got the bases loaded. I mean, this is pretty crazy. They've already left 14 runners on base. And now with 2 outs, Kaler gets his shot with the bases loaded.
Pitching coach Roger Williams comes out. You said it, this is the guy for Louisville. I mean, you roll with Persecki.
You know, unless it got ugly, like there's nobody next. This is your guy. Or ugly, or the outing becomes you know, longer than they want him to go. Now, while both these managers are all in for game one, like, you do have to have at least somewhat of a thought process of, you know, what's tomorrow, what's the next day. So again, Prosecki's going to get them probably through the ninth, but if you somehow ended up in extra innings, I would think that it would be somebody different. But man, it is time to cash in here for the Aggies.
Loaded for the 4th time in 8 innings, and here is Cole Kaler. He's been aboard 3 times from the 9 spot, 2 walks and a single his last time. Strike 1 to start on 94.
They've had the bases loaded 4 times in 8 innings and have 4 runs. I mean, that just tells you how clutch this U of L pitching staff has been when they've had their backs against the wall. But that's not exactly what Dan McDonald and Roger Williams wanted to see from their pitching staff here this evening.
0-1. Kaler takes strike 2. And how starved A&M is for that elusive big hit.
It has been a 7 2/3 affair at this point of searching for that big hit with a couple runners on.
When have we been able to exhale tonight?
Pitching changes.
That's it. 0-2 pitch is high.
All right, 3 straight fastballs and the elevated fastball there. Would not surprise me if he goes to the hook here. See if he can get Kaler to chase down out of the zone. Just got to be careful with that left on right breaking ball. You leave it up, and it's a pitch that a lot of hitters can have some success hitting the ball through the left side of the infield on.
The 1-2. Strike 3 called. Prosecki punches out Kaler, and for the 4th time tonight, Texas A&M leaves them loaded. In this ballpark, BYOC. Bring your own couch, folks. We got 3 words for you. Sleep is overrated. Thanks for sticking with us. Chris Burke, Mike Monaco, our entire crew. Berkey's on a caffeine run for us as we play on at Bluebell Park. 4-4 our score. And the big bat's coming for the Cards here in enemy territory. The fan base outnumbered. Ben Metzinger, Dalton Rushing, Jack Payton due up against Jacob Polish. Did we acquire caffeine?
It's getting to that point. Something tells me we're gonna have some fireworks here in the ninth. These 2 offenses, I just can't believe how they've been squelched to this point. A few runs on the board, but obviously, as we've documented, a lot of missed opportunities.
One and 2 on Ben Metzinger. I mean, they got to rest at some point, right?
Yeah, they have been locked.
Slow moving for now.
They're a little mad right now. They're still trying to get over that punch out with the bases juiced.
1-2. Up high.
Well, if you're a Cards fan, like 2, 3, 4. Now, you don't have Cam Masterman sitting there in that 6-hole, but I mean, you got Metzinger, Rushing, Payton, and Usher. You like your spot right here if you need one.
Slow roller left of the mound. Tough play. Werner on the run. Not in time. Despite a great pick by Jack Moss, Metzinger is on.
Just one of the hallmarks of this Louisville program. They can run 1 through 9. Werner does all he can right here. Rips it across the diamond. Metzinger in just ahead of the throw. Nice job by Moss there, getting low and backhand on that pick.
Fifth time Louisville has had a leadoff hit to an inning, and yet they've only got 4 runs to show for it.
Be careful here with Mr. Rushing. A long double his last time to bat.
Fisted here, floats it behind third, and Werner there. 1 away.
Just a great pitch there. Sawed him off with a fastball up and in. That is it. One big obstacle avoided.
Rushing displeased. So 1 gone. Polish still out there working after he came on to begin the 8th inning for the Aggies. To the cleanup spot, Jack Payton. Good block by Troy Clonch.
How many times we said that tonight?
Yeah.
And he has put on a clinic, keeping the baseball right in front of him.
Payton singled in the second, came in to score. Lined out sharply to right his next time on a great diving play by Brett Mennick. Up and out. I mean, you said it, on the A&M side, they have taken a huge chunk out of Louisville's pitching, and A&M has seen all the best arms pretty much that the Cards have.
Yeah.
Cut and a miss.
Yeah, no matter what happens tomorrow for these Aggie hitters, they will at least have some ABs to work off of, with no matter who Dan McDonald chooses to put in the game, other than whoever he chooses to start. I will assume will not be one of the pitchers we've seen here this evening.
And now A&M has thrown 2 of its best, if not its 2 best relievers as well. The lefties, Menifee and now Polish. On the ground sharply to short. Kaler sticks with it. The turn in time for 2. Polish gets him off the field. And we go to the bottom of the 9th inning at Bluebell Park.
Well, that would bring the fans to their feet. How about a little 6-4-3 by the Aggies defense? They keep making pitches. Now, do they have one big swing of the bat?
Prosecki's 0-2.
Well, we haven't seen the breaking ball yet in this AB. 3 straight fastballs. I think the fear of the breaking ball maybe here is, you hang one in a situation where a walk-off homer is in play, and it becomes maybe a bit of a favor pitch, right? More so than that fastball up and out just above the hitting zone.
1-2. Cut on and missed. Rock strikes out, and there's 2 gone.
Man, how about just a little old-fashioned country hardball from Michael Prosecki? I mean, this is just gas right down Broadway. I mean, that is like, here you go. My heater is different, and that is by one of the best hitters in college baseball. And now Austin Bose gets his chance for that one big swing that the Aggies are searching for.
Mike Prosecki has faced 7. He's walked 3. He has struck out 3. And a line out to second. And now the cleanup man, Bose. Strike 1. The guy who walked his first time and has been retired 4 times since, and he didn't love that call.
No, he didn't. Fastball just on the edge there on the inside corner.
0-1. Pulled on a line left field, base hit. Winning run to second on a single from Bose. And there's the first hit out of 3, 4, and 5 in the Aggie lineup.
Well, it felt like inevitable, right? That one of these guys here in the middle of the order was going to get it done. And now Ryan Targach, who led the Southeastern Conference in runs driven in conference games. So obviously no stranger to big runs batted in, gets his chance to potentially provide a walk-off here for the Aggies.
Switch hitter spins around to the right side. His first look at Prosecki, who entered after Targach walked his last time. First pitch. Hits Targach. And they're loaded.
Wow. Well,
ten walks, 4 hit batters from the A&M offense. And for a 5th time in 9 innings, stop us if you've heard this, they've got him loaded. And here's their leader, Troy Klotch. They call him Captain Klotch and Clutch Koch. Lines in right field, base hit. Texas A&M wins.
it was bound to happen, Mikey. Somebody was going to come up with that big swing of the bat, and neither team could just figure out who was going to do it. But who better to do it than number 12, Troy Klotch, who has been one of the glue guys for this team all year long. Gets an opportunity with the bases loaded, 2 outs, game 1 of a super regional. Man, that's the kind of moment you dream of. You talk about being ready to hit. What a piece of hitting by the Aggie captain.
This guy did a 3-day drive, sight unseen, to College Station from California. Picked up his dad in Utah. They stopped in Colorado, then came here to Texas. Hadn't been here before, but he had committed. He joined this team, and with 8 transfers, including him in tow, they've got to win in game 1 of this super against Louisville.
Yeah, and as we know, now the odds are overwhelmingly in their favor to bring this thing home. And what a story that would be for Jim Schlossnagle in year 1 with the Aggies, with a team full of holdovers and transfer portal to get to Omaha and to be able to do it in front of the home crowd. That would be something special.
The bubbles stream out here at Bluebell Park. Some kind of war waged on this field for 9 innings, for nearly 5 hours tonight. Well, our Capital One rewarding performance. What else could it be?
How about it, Troy Klotch? Get you a fastball out over the plate and just a bullet in the 4-hole. Took all the drama out of it, right? A team that doesn't like to hit the first pitch up there ready. Got a fastball that you wouldn't say was a particularly great pitch to hit, but man, were his eyes out over the plate and a no-doubter through the 4-hole gives the Aggies a big Game 1 victory.
We are 4 games into the Super Regionals on the road to Omaha in the College World Series. How about that for day 1? Left side of the bracket is off and running, and a walk-off ends this first day.
Yeah, great way to finish day 1. Tomorrow will be electric. 8 games, 4 teams playing for the right to go to Omaha. Super Regional Saturday. Doesn't get much better than that in the world of college baseball.
It'll start at noon Eastern. Game 2 of this Super will be tomorrow, 3 o'clock Eastern, 2 Central, over on ESPN 2. Once again, the final score, 5-4. A&M walks off Louisville to close down a long night here at the Yard in College Station. For Chris Burke, our entire crew behind the scenes, Mike Monaco saying so long from Bluebell Park. Popcorn on the heads. That kind of night. A&M in the bottom of the 9th. That man, the hero, Troy Clonch. We'll see you tomorrow.